Hello, hello. Yeah, here are the patch notes. All up there. And I also have the video game going, thusly. So let's look into them. Increase the button input buffer when exiting a block hit reaction from 2 to 5 frames. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so quite a bit easier to do reversals. That's great. That's really nice. I'm not one who like has a fetish for having to time everything correctly, like that is to say, precisely. I'm okay with there not being gigantic input windows, but having 5 frames sounds like a good idea to me. Sounds good to me. Yeah, right, easier to punish things, for sure. And that's important too, because just of the way that like MK's block stun works, like I feel like it's very arbitrary on how to punish some stuff. Like there's just like an arbitrary amount of block stun, and even classic example for me is like I'm playing on Kombat League, and like in the early ranks, some Sonya does like back 1, 2, 3, you know, and like you gotta punish that, but like I know that it's the block stuns exits earlier than I think it does, but I still like miss the punish like probably every time online, especially. So if it's if it's easier to punish, like that would be fantastic. But yeah, you're right. That's true. Also, Greetings Mortal, that it's also easier to take back your turn rather than having to absolutely time things. So anyway, that sounds great. I'm happy about this. That's a nice little change. Then what do we got here? Looks like practice mode stuff. So practice mode, AI options, custom, block attack options now have more defined options. Fast, delay, or late. Oh, wow. This is something a lot of us have been asking for. Record now has a new recording slot for custom getup and reversal. Okay, and then of course, custom reversal attack now has an option for custom reversal. Using the thing, I guess, that makes sense. AI options, custom getup attack, right? So same thing as the reversal, looks like. That's cool. So how does one set the custom record? AI options record now has a new recording slot to be used for custom getup and reversal. All right. So let's go to AI recording slots. How about that? Okay, cool. Bam. So that's now recorded, I guess. And then let's have it go back to custom, block type all, normal, reversal mode, on, custom reversal. Let's do it like this. Okay, bam. How about that? That's pretty cool. I like this. That's a great little addition. That's something that we've all been asking for. This is a great training mode in general. But having something like that is even nicer. And then you can change the timing on this. So practice mode, AI options, custom, block attack. Options now, more defined options, fast, delay, or late. Oh, and it says, sure enough. Fast, delay, or late. Wow, for all of them. Dang, that's a lot. Wow. Anyway, that's great. All get up, flawless block. Up 3s will no longer hit opponents from behind except Kung Lao, Sonya, and Geras. Okay, so Kung Lao's got the flippity flip. Sonya's is the little like almost like energy puddle on the ground, and Geras is the full body sand. So okay, that makes sense. All right. Let's get to the meat. Geras reduced the travel distance of forward and dash backwards. Really? They continue to nerf Geras. I'm a little surprised. And increase the recovery on miss of sand trap and quicksand by 4 frames. Wow, all right. And then Jacqui, directing bionic bounce toward away costs 1 to bar defense meter. Oh wow, all right, so we're definitely gonna check out both of these, what they look like. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Geras. I feel like I still don't think he sucks, to be clear. Well, I guess we'll see what this movement thing looks like. So what's your dash look like? I mean, that doesn't look bad. I don't really know his timing for the wave dash. Oh, that actually looks really slow. Oh no. Right, it's like something like that. Maybe I can time it a little bit better than that. Okay, well, I mean, maybe it's a little bit worse. Backdash. Ooh, there's for sure more recovery on that. more recovery or just less range, maybe? But it says, yeah, okay, so it says reduce the travel distance. Okay, yeah. I don't know, man, that still seems pretty alright to me. I mean, it was super good for him. Backdash. And then, you know, if you're an Infinite Warden, you're harassing with this. If you have Eternal, you're doing that. But you also are putting a little statue out. Like, that was really good for sure. But they've already nerfed him in so many ways. This, right? Anyway, there's a bunch. So now he can't do, like, backdash into statue quite as easily. Yeah, alright. Alright. Again, I still think he's good. I would say especially I think Eternal Geras is good, but they're all good. They're just not, he's not, and probably was not in after the previous patch, not top tier anymore, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Anyway, I don't know why they continue to nerf him, but it doesn't seem like it's that bad. Alright, increase the recovery on miss of Sand Trap and Quicksand by 4 frames. Okay, so this is both variations. So, let's hold up afterward. Yeah, I mean, maybe, that's hard for me to tell. That's hard for me to tell. But I assume they're right. So increase the recovery on miss of Sand Trap and Quicksand by 4 frames. What is it, 2, I think? Is that a whiff or is it 3? 2, okay. So in this variation, when you whiff the Sand Trap twice, you then get access to the Crushing Blow on it. And so if there's a little bit more whiff recovery on this, then I guess that's maybe a little less plausible to do. That said, I still feel like this is gonna be something we'll see all the time. Like, this is still just a great tool. Like, when is From the Deep not good? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a good idea. And it's only on whiff as well, right? So it's not any worse on block. Let's have her block. Right, yeah, okay, cool. So, I mean, it's not something you should be doing point blank outside of, like, occasional wild mix-ups, right? But pretty rarely, so that's, you know, alright. Maybe not that big of a deal. Let's check out what probably seems like it's more of an important set of nerfs, just to look at it right here. So Jacqui Briggs, directing bionic bounce toward or away costs 1 bar of defensive meter. Jeez. It's a big one. The landing recovery frames of Air Shrapnel Blast, Air Grenade Launcher, and Air Prototype Rocket, I didn't even know she had those 2 moves, can no longer be circumvented when being 2-in-1 canceled from a jump attack with specific timing. This one is the normal one. Away, yes, or toward. Okay, all right, so there's a range here where you can still certainly harass with it. Was that a combo? Oh, it was actually. So you might be able to get combos out of this still. Was that a combo? It was actually. I mean, that was as gross as it comes, but all right. I mean, I guess you can still make the combo work. For Jacqui, she can still get these big combos that are good damage and that cannot be broken away from, because you can only do breakaway if you're in the air in this game. And these do not cause a launch until you're typically like pretty deep into the combo. So that is still legit. But what you can't do as much is this or this. So when you're trying to be very mobile, like people will do this sometimes and on block confirm just like get away, right? That's not gonna be as commonly possible, which seems pretty fair to me. I feel like this is actually a nice change to this. So you can still do the big damage. And, you know, honestly, even if this cost a bar to do defensively, that doesn't seem too unreasonable to me, but since it doesn't, you can still do combos with it without spending defensive bar. The utility of it in terms of hit confirming into damage that's unbreakable is still there. But some of your like mix-up arcs aren't going to be quite as often. And she cannot do the combo in the corner. Oh, really? Okay. You know, part of the threat of this character was being able to do this from anywhere. And if you're watching Final Kombat this past weekend, you saw a bunch of upgraded Jacqui. Dragon had to beat 4 of them, I think. It was something incredible. Or maybe 3 players, but 4 different times. It was like pretty wild. Anyway, there were a bunch of upgradeds, and there have been, right? It's not a new phenomenon now. It's been a little while. And when you watch people play against that, like they're just kind of frozen sometimes. Like even if they're like here, they're like, well, I don't want to commit to anything because what if she just comes into my face immediately like this? And so that's going to be a little bit less frequent now. If Jacqui wants to take the risk of doing this, then she still can get good reward off of that clearly. But on the other hand, if the opponent blocks and then, you know, turns the situation in their favor, then she can't break away. Like, you'll see sometimes that people will do this or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. They'll do the far leap, and then the opponent will do, like, if they're a genius, they'll do a flawless block up 2 against her jump 1 or whatever it is, and then try to punish, but it's like, she's like, oh well, no big deal, I just break away, right? Now she can't do that. So now there's actually a risk to just taking that big intro. I think this is a pretty reasonable change. I you know, this is great. Like, I don't want this character to die. For sure, right? Like, it should be a good, viable variation, just like every variation should. So I was hoping that they wouldn't kill it. I expected, I think most of us expected that there was going to be a nerf to upgraded Jacqui. Because she was quite oppressive. I think many of us thought she was the best character in the game. There were several players using her at Final Kombat. Deoxys got 4th with her. So I think we all basically expected some nerf. But this is light enough that it doesn't seem like it's going to kill her, and that's great. Wiggle Stick, back 2, can now be 2-in-1 canceled if the first or second hit hits the opponent, but the last attack misses. Wow, is that an issue? I don't even know. Oh, there we go, okay. Okay, cool. It's just a weird timing. Alright, cool, well, that's nice. That makes sense. So now, triggers if the move hits the opponent twice in a row? Oh, really? It still says that? Alright. Got him, right? Okay, very good. And then, let's do this, and then let's whip it. And then do this. Okay, cool. That's cool. So you can whiff something, and then it will still crush. But if you were to do this, and then quote-unquote wiggle stick, and then this, it does not work, right? Okay, cool. I get it. That seems nice. So let's go to Ripped. What happens? Ripped, amplified, now recovers 4 frames faster on hit and 6 frames faster on miss, is now -8 on block, so it's worse on block. So it's easier to juggle things, presumably. How many frames here? Recovers 4 frames faster on hit and 6 frames faster on miss, but it's now -8 on block instead of -4. Okay. Well, that's cool. So does he get more damage out of this? Is that what happens? It's slightly easier to juggle after now. Okay, so juggle's more manageable than before. That's cool. Gurney towards 4, forward 4, right? What about it? No longer has different hit advantage when hitting standing and ducking opponents. Oh, interesting, okay. Let's turn off hit. So on hit, this is what? It's probably a lot, right? Oh, 6, okay. Well. Okay, that's cool. So some little bit of a buff here. This is nice. Just kind of usability, huh? Just a little bit more practical in terms of what the anti-airs are going to be, and like random scramble situations. Crushing blow on Nitro Kick is a little bit more in line with everybody else's. When it comes to specials that need to be done and then done immediately again, you can whiff something in between. Jax forward 4 has the same hit advantage on standing and ducking. And then Ripped is okay as well, just a little bit easier to do combos out of, but still fine on block. Johnny Cage. Okay, let's see. Outtake. Removed from game. Oh, no? Rising Star can no longer be amplified when it is flawless block. Rising Star and Rising Star Amplified now costs 1 bar of both defensive and offensive meter. Oh, I read that backwards, but you know. When Rising Stars block their misses. What a move. So yeah, sure enough, it takes a defensive bar. How about that? Alright, so doing this costs a bar, but you cannot do it after flawless blocking. Yeah, but you can't cancel it if they flawless block. Okay, cool. Alright. It's nice that this would cost Johnny a little bit more, because that's really good. And you know, it's nice too that you're not just going to be stuck like this at a punishable spot. So I kind of like the compromise here, I think is what it seems like. So rather than having a situation where on false block you're just stuck and the opponent definitely gets to punish you, if you'd like to make it so that you don't have the ability to break away for a while, then you could do this. That seems reasonable enough to me. I'm not opposed to that. So changes for Outtake Johnny. Showstopper Johnny, like Shazam says, seems like the same dude. So Johnny's definitely still one of the best characters in the game after this, but you know, okay, a little bit of a nerf there. Kotal Khan, what do we got? Heavy Blade, oh yeah, stand 4. Starts up 1 frame faster, can be special canceled, and has a different hit reaction. Oh, cool, okay, we'll see what it is. Ooh, interesting. So, what's it, like 4-2? Oh, that's cool, man, alright. Or down 4-2, rather. So stand 4, down 4-2. And then how fast is this now? This is 13 frames. That's actually pretty good. I thought it was slower than that. Even before, I thought it was slower than that. I guess it must have been 14 frames before. I would have said I thought this was slower. Was this already buffed at some point? Is that why? Maybe I just haven't seen it in like 6 months or a year? Huh, I don't know. Anyway, that looks alright actually. Now it's a high, of course, but it's got great range. Okay, I think this is actually pretty nice for Kotal. That's really nice. And Yayakame Disc now causes 5 more frames of block stun and has more pushback when normal block. Alright, so causes 5 more frames of block stun and has more push block when normal blocked. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's hard for me. Well, alright, that actually looks like it's pretty far. He scoots, doesn't he? And 5 more frames of block stun. So, what if you were to do this? Oh, stand 4, yeah. It's actually 0. Interesting. -3. Now it looks like there's a giant gap here, and I'm sure you can duck, right? So that might not be a great idea still, but okay. So he can more easily make himself safe, I guess. And again, I mean, this is a high. You know, this is probably not going to be a perfect situation, but yeah, that's cool. And this, I love this being special canceled. That's really nice. That seems very useful. Bullock gets free totem on block, huh? Oh, damn. That is important. -10. Oh, alright, yeah, -10, I guess. -10, alright. Sick. Yeah, that's safe. It looks safe anyway. Damn, that's so dangerous. Bullock was already... I already feel like Bullock's like a boss character, basically, but that's awesome. That's a very cool change. So, stand 4, not only more useful, for sure. I mean, the ability... I feel like this... Like, 13 frames is fast enough that this is a whip punching tool now. And again, it was only 14 frames before. I really thought it was slower than that, but I guess not. But anyway, the fact that it's cancelable now into presumably combos, like for sure at least in variation 1. So better whiff punishing into damage. And I like that too because this character, I mean, he's got some buttons that I think were already pretty good whiff punishers, but in general, I would say that I didn't think that was like his strength. It was more about like the ability to, like, he's the one who gets things going with like this kind of gigantic business. Rather than being like a crazy good whiff punisher outside of this kind of thing. So this being an additional tool seems really nice for him. And the fact that it sets up a free totem and Bullock is great. That's super obnoxious. Well, that's cool, man. Kotal seems like I feel like Kotal just keeps getting better and better, and I was never one who thought that he sucked. I never thought that about this character. I never thought he was... At the beginning, I didn't think he was great. I wouldn't have said that for sure. But I never thought he was bad. And he gets buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. I really hope to see this character more often because I think he deserves it.